Hey you guys, my name is Mara Sullivan and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about coming into your own as a woman, going from girlhood to womanhood, embracing who it is that you are at whatever stage of life you are currently in. I know that as we get older, we go through so many different life transitions, especially females. However you identify, all are welcome here. I love you. But women go through a lot of different phases and a lot of different transitions, and it's important to embrace yourself and to brace yourself for all of the transitions that we go through, all of the experiences that we have. We just take on so many different not personalities, but so many different just life phases as we go through our journeys, as we grow up, as we just get older. And the transition from girlhood to womanhood is an interesting one. And one of the things that I want to emphasize in this video is to not let go of your youth entirely. Like, you should be embracing the things that you loved as a kid. You should be continuing to bring the things from girlhood into your womanhood that you love and that you enjoy as you get older. I think that part of the reason why so many people get so stuck and so unhappy in life as they get older, a part of that reason is because they think that as a society, we're taught that you have to leave the childish things behind. And I'm someone who, I believe it is important to not be childish, but it is important to be childlike. And so the things that you enjoyed as a kid, the things that you enjoyed as a girl or as a preteen, you need to continue to keep those things a part of your life as you get older. If you like the sparkly glitter gel pens, you need to keep using them as you get older. If you like the pens that have the little pink ballpoint on top of them, you need to continue to do that as you get older. If you loved, for me personally, I used to be obsessed with the J14 magazines and the celebrity gossip magazines. I still, listen to celebrity gossip podcasts as I get older. Like, it's just a different version of it. Instead of buying J14 now, I listen to celebrity gossip podcasts. I listen to Comments by Celebs, which is my favorite like pop culture podcasts. There are ways that you can continue to bring, your girlhood, your preteenhood, the fun aspects of your life into your womanhood or into your adulthood as you get older. If you have not seen any of my other videos before, welcome to my channel. This video is one in a few videos that I have been doing on here in a little mini series called Galentine Wine Time. I wanted to do a fun Galentine's Day themed little series on my channel for Galentine's Day. Valentine's Day is for the couples, it's for bae, it's for your boyfriend, it's for your spouse, it's for your partner. But Galentine's Day is for the girls. And so I wanted to do some fun girlhood, womanhood specific videos for the girls or for the gals. For Galentine's Day, I've been covering all different topics: PMS, divine feminine, dating, intimacy, self-care, self-love, confidence, just so many different girlhood, womanhood topics, taking care of yourself as a woman, just doing so many different videos um, that are just fun girl chats, like sleepover vibes, girls' night in vibes, wine time. Just having fun. I do not drink wine, which you already know. If you have seen the videos in this series, I have been alternating between cranberry and sparkling water and cranberry and tequila. This one is cranberry and sparkling water. Wine makes me super sick. But if you have fun wine alternatives that you enjoy, please leave those down below. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about coming into your own as a woman. I am only 26, and so I have by no means learned all of the lessons that, womanhood has to offer. I am still a baby, I still have so much more to learn, so many more things to go through. But I will say I had to grow up very fast. And so I always make the joke that's kind of not a joke that I have lived 50 years of life experience in 25. And so it's very, the way that my life has unfolded has been very fast tracked. If you have not seen any of my other videos, I actually lost my mom in 2023, November 2023. And so it's been a little over a year. And so even before going through grief and losing my mom, I've had to grow up fast and live a very fast track, serious life. My whole life, like as a kid. I had an amazing childhood, but I had to grow up fast. I was raised by a single mom, raised in inner city Baltimore. Um, didn't have a lot of money, like, every struggle or poor related thing that you could go through, for the most part, I've been there, or I've been through. Grew up without my dad. I don't have siblings. It was just me and my mom. I now have no parents. I have no siblings. I don't even have grandparents. Like, it is literally just me. And so everything, a lot of things that most people go through in a full or, fuller lifespan, I have been through, um, or I had gone through by 25. And so it's very, not saying that I've, done all the things yet or that I've learned all the lessons, because I haven't, but a lot of them I have. And so, I'm just been able to share. I started this channel so that I could share some things that I've learned, some of the wisdom that I've gained, things that have helped me, um, because I've just been through a lot. And so, said all that to say, there is a lot about womanhood and coming into my own that obviously I haven't experienced yet or haven't done yet, but a lot of it I have. And so I've been through a lot of life experience at a very young age. And so if you're someone who also had to grow up fast, I am right here with you. If you're someone who also feels like you have been through quite a bit of life at a very young age, I am right here with you. Um, it's not easy. I think that it's so easy to look at people and to just see the surface outside level version of them and have no idea the things that people go through on a daily basis or on a regular basis, or the things that they have been through. And so this is also just a reminder to be kind, because you truly never, ever, 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 even if you think you have no idea what people are going through. And so that in and of itself is a huge part of growing up and coming into your own, which coming into your own really just means getting older. It means being more mature. In my opinion, it just means figuring more out about who you are and just other people and how life works. And a huge part of that is accepting the fact or realizing the fact that you do not know everything. That is a huge part of getting older. It is a huge part of womanhood and getting stronger and coming into your own, is really acknowledging and being mature enough to be able to admit that you do not know everything, being able to admit, um, that, like I said before, just not judging books by their cover, to, know that you may have thought that you had all the answers, or you thought that, certain things were one way, but there's so much about life and about people that you have no idea about. The world is massive. There are so many different types of people in the world that it's impossible to know everything. Um, for me personally, I always use the example of religion, because I grew up in church, grew up in a good old big black Southern Baptist church. And so my church and my faith is my foundation, the foundation of my entire life. It's a huge part of my upbringing. But as I've gotten older, I've realized, just like I said before, I don't know everything. So it's like I embrace people from every religion, from all walks of life. I'm friends with people who don't even believe in God at all. Like, I'm very much aware of the fact that I do not know everything. And honestly, I don't want to know everything. I think that's the point of getting older. I think that's the point of why we're all so different and why we're all so unique. And the, none of us know everything. None of us are really supposed to know everything. There's so much about life that is such a mystery. There's so much about life that is up in the air. And to me, there's so much beauty in the mystery. There's so much beauty in none of us really having all the answers. I think that that's so beautiful. I think that um, it makes life mysterious. I'm a Scorpio, and so I'm naturally drawn to mystery. I'm naturally drawn to the darker sides of life, or the thing, a lot of things that people are scared to talk about or scared to think about, things like death, things like afterlife, things like different religions and exploring different beliefs and things like that. I just love that stuff. And so um a huge part of me like coming into my own has been, you know, giving myself the permission to explore everything that I'm interested in. And, going back to church, a lot of times that is shunned upon because you're not supposed to do anything different or do anything outside of that particular faith or that religion. But I just grew up in a household. I went to church, but my mom was not super strict or super religious with me. We just went to church and she taught me about Jesus and I have a prayer life. Um, but like I could always watch what I wanted. I could always listen to music. I grew up with my mom was super versatile. She didn't have me until she was 40. So she herself had lived a lot of life by the time that she had me. And so she was much more, open minded and had learned a lot more by the time she had me. And so, I always describe myself as like a flower child. I am like a free spirit. I just want everyone to be happy. I really don't care what you do as long as you are happy and, as long as you're not hurting yourself and other people. Um, and so these are things that I'm sharing that, I have realized as I have come into my own or as I have gotten older. Um, but yeah, there's just so much about life and about people that we don't know. And that's just been such a huge part of getting older for me and maturing for me is just being so much more open-minded. Um, and it just helps for me. I can only speak for myself. It's helped me to connect with people so much more um, because I'm less judgmental. Like I know that I don't know everything. I love learning. I think curiosity is the key to life. I think that curiosity is so important, to get yourself out of your own little world and your own little box. Your own getting yourself out of your own day to day and opening yourself up to other ways of thinking, opening yourself up to, how other people live and, other, you know, ways to think and other thought processes. And just doesn't mean you have to agree with everything, but, you're open enough to be able to learn. And I think that, every single problem or the majority of our problems in our world are just because people don't want to listen to someone else's opinion or to someone else's belief or don't want to, acknowledge that we're all different and different does not equal wrong. I talk about that a lot. That's something else that I've learned. Um, Different does not equal wrong. Like it is okay to be unapologetically yourself, whatever that looks like for you. That is a huge part of coming into your own is being honest with yourself about who you are, being honest with yourself about what you like, about what you don't like, about who you like and who you don't like. Embracing the parts of you that are different, embracing the parts of you that are not the most, I guess, traditional or relatable to other people, or if you're someone who's different than the people around you and your family and your community, instead of looking at those things as bad or wrong, just embracing them and know that those are the things that make you you. Embracing every single thing about yourself that makes you different, embracing everything about yourself that makes you unique, and embracing the things that make you not fit in. Um, Huge, huge, huge part of growing up and being honest with yourself and getting older and um, embracing your womanhood is being honest with yourself and honest with other people about who you are and what, like I said, what you like and what you don't like and the things that make you happy and the things that don't make you happy, being able to speak up and, being able to just be unapologetic about who you are. The sooner that you can do that, the better. I think a lot of people, especially women, don't get to the place where you're like, I genuinely do not care. A lot of women reach that point. I feel like 60 and up, a lot of women get to the point where you're like, I can do whatever the heck I want. I can be who I want unapologetically myself. I'm thinking about Martha Stewart right now. Um, just so many women, Tracy Ellis Ross, who I love. A lot of women don't reach that point, or at least a lot of times we don't see them, reach that point until they're older, where they're able to get to the place where they're like, I do not give a damn what you think about me. I'm living my life for myself. But I think that if you can have that mentality in your 20s, in your 30s, the sooner that you can have that unapologetic vibe, that unapologetic nature, um, the better your life is going to be, because you're going to be living your life for yourself. You're not going to be living your life for other people. And the sooner that you can do that, the better. The sooner you can have that, I really genuinely do not care what any of y'all have to say. I'm living my life for me. The sooner that you can get that energy and, be unapologetic about it, the better your life is going to be. I always give the exercise in all of my videos to think about yourself 60, 70, 80 years old. Think about yourself right now, wherever you currently are in your life. What do you want to be able to look back on your life and say that you've done? What are the things that you want to be able to, what are the things you want to tell stories about? What do you want to look back on, whatever, wherever you are in your life right now, and be able to say? And start living your life according to that. Make the more seasoned, older version of yourself proud right now. How do you want to be treating your body? What do you want to be putting in your body? Um, just how do you want to be able, where do you need to be spending your time right now in order to, be able to look back on your life right now and say that you really did the damn thing. Like, every single thing that you can think of, that you want to do, the stories that you want to be able to tell, the memories that you want to have made, live your life now according to that. Like the basics: sleep, rest, exercise, health, the people who you allowed in your life, the people who you cut off, the relationships that you do invest in. Um, just let the everyday decisions that you make on a regular basis, the job that you're working, the jobs that you're working, if you're working multiple jobs. I myself am a multi-passionate person. So what do you want to be able to say that you've done with your time here, with your overall life? So many people, have midlife crises, midlife crises in their 40s and 50s, because they wait until they get to that point in their life where they're like, oh man, like I have been living my entire life up until this point for other people. If you can avoid that by starting to be intentional about how you're living your life right now, especially if you're in your 20s, and especially if you don't have a family to take care of yet. It's so important to use that time to your advantage, to give yourself the permission and the freedom to live the life that you want, or to at least take a risk, and to at least try to give yourself the opportunity to make your dreams come true, to live the life that you want to live. I love creating content. Doing YouTube has been something that I have been terrified to do for so long, and I've wanted to do for so long, but I've been so scared to talk in front of the camera for such a long time. Literally, since I was like 16, I have wanted to do YouTube, and I'm 26 now. So it's been 10 plus years that I have like stopped myself from doing this. Um, but I'm glad that I finally started. Better late than never, right? And so it's like, even if you think that you're too late, or even if you think that it's pointless, but it's something you really want to do, just do it. We should be I feel like as we get older, a lot of people get more scared and, you know, more rigid as we get older. I feel like it's supposed to be the opposite. We're supposed to be getting more free as we get older, because we're learning more about ourselves. We're learning more about our lives. We're, coming into our own. Like, you're supposed to be not losing the ability to be free and the ability to have fun as you get older. You're supposed to be more free, and you're supposed to be having more fun as you get older, because you're supposed to be having more freedom. Um, but I feel like for so many of us, our lives are the opposite. A lot of times we think that like we can only have fun, or we can only be free in our childhood. And that's why I started this video by saying one of the main points that I want to get across in this video is um to not let go of your childhood, not let go of your girlhood. Bring some of those things into your adulthood and into your womanhood that you enjoyed doing as a kid. But, you know, refine it a little bit and add things to it, add the wisdom to it, add the learning experience to it, you know. But don't just completely let go of your inner child altogether. Nurture your inner child. Continue to nurture your inner child as you get older, especially if you had a really, rough childhood like I did. Like I said, I had to grow up very fast. I had to, be more serious at a younger age, even though I did have such a fun childhood. My mom gave me everything that she had. It was still laced and intertwined with a lot of struggle and just a lot of seriousness. And so now I'm allowing myself to play. I'm allowing myself to have fun and to be creative and to do things like YouTube that I've always wanted to do. And so just give yourself the permission and the freedom and the validation to have fun, to play, to express yourself. That is a huge part of coming into your own, is expressing yourself. That goes along with being honest about who you are and what you want out of life. Being able to authentically express yourself and be all of who you are that you want to be, giving yourself that permission and that validation. um just doing it without worrying, like I said, what other people are going to think, or just not caring about other people at all. Like, it's so freeing when you can get to the place of just genuinely just not caring, of living your life for you. Taking responsibility for your life is so important, and it is a huge part of coming into your own. You have to take responsibility for your life. If you are someone who is always, um, just making sure my microphone is on, if you're someone who is always dependent on other people, and someone who really seeks out advice or other people's opinions all the time, there's nothing wrong with doing it. But if you're constantly, you know, going to other people about what they think you should do for your life, you have to think for yourself. That is a huge part of getting older. That is a huge part of coming into your own, is giving yourself, trusting yourself, getting to the point where you trust yourself enough to make your own decisions and to make your own choices for your life, not letting anyone or anything else, make those decisions for you, whether it's parents, teachers, even, religious communities, things like that. Obviously, seek wise counsel and, um, be grateful for other people's opinions and for their advice. But at the end of the day, you should be able to trust yourself and your own intuition and your own gut and your own mind and your own brain enough to make the choices for yourself. I think all of us deep down know what we're supposed to be doing. Like, and I think a lot of times we just go through life ignoring that little voice in the back of our head that's like, this is what you need to do, because we're so worried about doing and being what other people want us to be. A huge part of coming into your own is being able to let go of the ideas about you that people have, if that makes sense. Like, being able to let people think. Mel Robbins just came out with that book, The Let Them Theory. Being able to let go of other people's opinions or ideas about you. Just letting them think whatever they want about you. Allowing yourself the freedom, and like I said, giving yourself that permission and that validation to just think for yourself and to make your own decisions about your life. It is your life. This is your life. And the sooner you can realize that, and the sooner that you accept that, and the sooner that you start to really, really trust yourself and have that confidence and that faith in yourself to make the right decision for yourself and for your life, the better your life is going to be, because you're going to be living your life for yourself. You're not going to be resenting other people because you listened to them, and then you ended up unhappy because of something someone else told you to do. It just eliminates so much drama when you can just think for yourself. When you get to the place where you can trust your own gut, when you can trust your own intuition, when you know yourself, know thyself, when you know yourself well enough to think for yourself and to just, be able to do what is best for you. And I know that that's not always easy. Sometimes that means cutting people off. Sometimes that means quitting a job. Sometimes that means moving to a different state or to a different city. Sometimes what's best for you doesn't always feel the best, but deep down, you know that it's something that you have to do to get to where you want to be. And the sooner that you can get yourself to a place where you're honest about that and where you again are unapologetic about that, where you are okay with doing the hard things now to make your life better and easier in the future, the better your life is going to be. So give yourself the permission, give yourself the validation, give yourself just the confidence boost that you need to trust yourself, um, to just not, like I said, to just not need, constantly need input from other people. Get yourself to a place where you can think for yourself. It is the biggest game changer to coming into your own. It's so important to have that ideal version, that dream version of yourself in your head. This is where like making vision boards comes in. I'm making a list, or just, having that person in your head of who you might be trying to be and who you are now, closing the gap between the dream version of yourself and the version of yourself now, closing that gap as much as possible and as soon as possible. And you do that by thinking like the person who you're trying to become. You do that by having the habits and the routines and the lifestyle of the person, of the dream version of yourself. And you may not have all of the resources to, be 100% that person yet, but the sooner that you can start thinking like that person, there's an ambulance going by. I'm so sorry if you guys can hear that because it is very loud. The sooner that you can think like that person, um, have the habits, the routines, the mindset of the person who already has the thing that you have, even if your external or even if your world currently isn't ideal or isn't where you want to be, you can still think like that person. You can still have the imagination of the person who you are trying to become. A huge part of getting older, a huge part of coming into your own is being very clear about who you want to be and who it is, especially as a woman, who you are and who you want to have the lifestyle as the life that you want to live. And mindset is everything. Mindset is how you close the gap between the dream version of yourself and the current version of yourself, by thinking every single day as the person who already is that girl, the person who already has, or that woman, the person who already has that life. You know, like I said, even if your current reality doesn't look like that, the more that you can live in that imagination, the more that you can live that lifestyle in your imagination, the faster it's going to show up for you in your reality. And so you have to, just get yourself to a place on a daily basis, because it is a daily um mindset shift or daily mindset work to do this, especially if you're like me and you know that you have big dreams and you know you have big goals, but you do not have a silver spoon. You come from, lack of better terms, you come from nothing. And so it can be very hard, but your imagination is everything. Your imagination is going to be what really gets you out. And obviously putting in the work, taking the action, but your mindset is everything. Having positive self-talk, being mindful of the way that you talk to yourself, being mindful of the thoughts that you were thinking, doing affirmations, praying. If you're a person of faith, having that, constant connection with God and constant connection with the divine, and just using your intuition. I believe that our intuition is our spirit. We all have it. We all, have that voice or that inner knowing within us, that we know the right choices to make for ourselves. At the end of the day, again, I really believe that we all know what we need to be doing. We all know what we need to do. A lot of us just don't like to follow that feeling, because a lot of times that thing that we know we need to do is hard. But just because it's hard doesn't mean you just don't do it. Like, just because other people might talk about you doesn't mean you just don't do it. A lot of people end up unhappy because they ignore that feeling in themselves, that really deep inner knowing that they need to be doing a certain thing. Don't let fear hold you back from doing what you know you should be doing, living how you know you should be living, even if it doesn't look like normal, even if it's abnormal, even if it's not average. Nothing is normal, nothing is average. We've just been, you know, conditioned to think that a lot of things about our world and our society are the norm, but it's not. So live your life however you want to live it. You get one of these, regardless of what you believe about afterlife and reincarnation. This current life that you have right now, whether you believe we come back or not, you're never going to come back as this version of yourself. Even if you do believe that you come back. I believe in everything, so whatever it is, you know, you believe, I don't like it, not going to make a difference to me. You will never be this in this body again. So take advantage of it, however it is that you are here, right now. You're not going to be in the same body ever again. However you believe that we may or may not come back, or we may or may not get another chance after this life, you're never going to be you in this current state of yourself ever again in any other lifetime. And so take advantage of that and use this to the best of your ability, and do your best, to live it to the fullest. Do your best to live life to the fullest. You owe it to yourself to do everything in your power to give yourself the life that you want. That's really coming into your own. That's the real maturity. That is the real glowing up, is doing everything in your power to give yourself the life that you know you want, and the life that you know you deserve, and being honest about the fact that you do deserve it. You deserve every single thing that you want in this life, and do not settle for anything less. Be delusional, use your imagination, have faith, whatever it is that you need to do to get yourself to where you want to be, do that, and do it every single day. Be so persistent and so relentless and so unwavering in your faith, and in no faith is just believing in what you can't see. So just be so, someone who is so strong in, the vision that you have for your life, that you don't accept anything less, and you don't accept anyone less. It is, just extremely important to know, to give, owe it you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to give yourself the life that you want. I know that sounds cheesy, and I know that at times it can seem unrealistic, but if you want it, all of your desires and everything that you want to do, you want those things for a reason. And so your why has to be so strong that you're going to make it happen by any means necessary. When you really want something bad enough, or when you really want to be something or someone bad enough, you're going to make it happen, because you're not going to give yourself the choice. A lot of times, a lot of goals and resolutions and plans and things, a lot of people end up, letting them go or falling off of, the action that they were taking. We see it all the time with resolutions. A lot of times people just let those go, or don't really care, because they don't really want the thing bad enough. It's just something to do. Like, it's just something we feel like as a society we're supposed to implement new habits and new routines and new resolutions just because it's a new year. That's why I kind of don't like New Year's resolutions. I have a whole video on being anti New Year's. But when you want something bad enough, you're going to make it happen for yourself, no matter what. Do what resonates with you on a daily basis. Lean into everything that you love on a daily basis. Like I said, just anything from your girlhood, or that you loved as a kid or as a teenager, things that you loved and that you enjoyed, it's okay to carry those things with you into your adulthood, into your womanhood. For me, like I said before, I've always loved reading. I love books. I've always loved pop culture and celebrity gossip, and just like the fun girly things. I've always loved to do my nails. I still do my own nails to this day. I don't go to the nail salon. I've always loved to just do my own nails. Doing my hair, even though my hair is kind of a mess at the moment, but just doing fun things that you love to do as a kid, remembering to keep those things and to bring those things with you into your adulthood. It's just gonna make your life, so much more fun, and you're gonna be able to nurture your inner child, and heal any inner child wounds that you might have. It's so important to nurture and to care for the younger version of yourself, especially if you're someone who feels like you're carrying a lot of past trauma, or a lot of weight, or a lot of childhood things, unresolved childhood issues or traumas. we all know any traumas that we bring into our adulthood, or things that we're struggling with, or issues that we have in our adulthood, are from our childhood. So if you have things that you need to go back and to revisit and to heal from, do that work as soon as possible. Figure out things that are therapeutic for you. Figure out things that are comforting to you. Figure out healthy ways of coping that work for you, whether that's traditional therapy, other outlets. For me, having a creative outlet has been one of my biggest forms of therapy. Exercise is a huge form of therapy for me. Um, Creating content, just figuring out things that are healing to you are going to make a huge difference. If you have the inner child things that you need to heal from, that you need to um, figure out how to deal with and to work through, do those things so that you do not keep getting older and older and older, carrying the weight of, whatever may have happened in your childhood or your teenagers or something like that. That is a huge part of also coming into your own and getting older, is healing the inner child that might be wounded, that you might be neglecting and don't want to deal with right now, is going to come up at a later date. And so you need to figure that out as soon as possible and to start working through that, start healing through that, doing things that, like I said, are therapeutic for you, figuring out what feels therapeutic for you, what feels, right for you, what a healthy ways to cope and to deal with things, is best for you. Leaning into everything that you love, leaning into everything that resonates with you and that makes you feel really good. If you guys have anything that has helped you to make the transition from girlhood to womanhood, things that have helped you to come into your own. I love journaling. Reflection is a huge thing for me. Um, like I said, having my creative outlets, doing my podcast, doing YouTube, just doing things that I love as much as possible. The music that I listen to, the content that I consume, the people that I have in my life, just being super intentional with the things I put in my body. Health is a huge part of getting older, especially as a woman. What we put in our bodies affects everything. Be mindful of that. Just being intentional, being very mindful about your life and the things that you're doing and the decisions that you're making on a daily basis. If you guys got something from this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know anything that really has helped you to come into your own, things that have helped you as you've gotten older. Like I said, if you're someone who also had to grow up fast, let me know anything that has helped you to, navigate having to grow up early, or navigating maybe not being in the same life phase as people your age, is something that maybe I'll do a whole separate video on that. That's like something that I've always dealt with. I've never fit in at all. I always say I'm an 80-year-old living in a 25 or 26-year-old body. It's really interesting, when you grow up fast and have to do things that are outside of your like age bracket or age range. I graduated high school early and then I graduated college early, so I've always had a very fast track life um, up until this point. But I am at a point in my life where I'm just allowing myself to be more creative and to have fun and things like that. If you guys have not seen any of my other videos, go check this out. This series is the Galentine Wine Time series. So go check out the other videos in this series. Happy Galentine's Day and happy Valentine's Day. I love you so, so much. And I will talk to you in my next one. Bye.